how do I get my e-commerce brand to seven figures, right? For example, they might be doing 10K a month with their brand. What does it look like in terms of a marketing sense to take a brand from doing 10 grand a month to doing 100 grand a month? Is it mostly ads? Is it a combination of changing a few things on the site? Conversions? Is it a combination of product development? Like what does it look like at a top level?
Yeah, I think the difference between a store that's doing sort of less than $10,000 a month versus a store that's doing over $100,000. At that point, that store at $100,000 is they've got a really a website that is converting, obviously, and they've got the conversions. They're looking at that. They're improving their conversion rate. They're advertising, through paid traffic. If they can be just focused on paid traffic, at that point they may not even be doing organic SEO. So if it's paid traffic, they're really, they're obviously spending money on Google Ads and their Facebook ad campaign, and they do have it optimized to the point where, if they're spending $10,000 a month, they are getting back. Let's call it for simplicity purposes. A two ROAS, or two return on ads, ROAS, return on ad spend, two times. So they're spending $10,000, they're getting $20,000 back, and they've really got their finances dialed in as well. So they know how much the product's costing them to ship and deliver to that customer, and they know how much exact profit they're making from that ad spend. They're watching that closely. I think that's the big difference. And it's running at, profit. I mean, there's some really aggressive big brands out there that may just be running, at what, just break even costs, and they make their money on that secondary purchase, that follow-up purchase, that return customer. That's their thing. So it does depend a lot on the business, the market, B2B, direct to consumer. There are some variabilities. I think that I answered your question there, but dig in if I missed something.
Yeah, no, it sounds like to really get to that level of, high six figures, seven figures in ecom, you need to be tracking things and you need to be knowing how to tweak those things, right? Like tracking your ROAS, tracking your conversions, even tracking which products are the best selling products so you can sell more of those products, or tracking which products have the highest profit margins so you can sell more of those products so you can make actually more profit, because that's the most important thing. So you can put that profit back into the business, and that could end up looking like more ad spend or more conversion rate optimization, right? So it sounds like there's a three-part, three important things there. It sounds like you've got to track stuff. That's the foundation. And once you've tracked stuff, you can work out, do you need to put more time and resources into ad budget and that marketing, or CRO? Would you say those are three key categories, or is there anything else that I could be missing to get that high?
I think those are the main things, improving your conversion rate on your store, improving the ads, whether you're spending on, social media, Google search, improving those ad campaigns. If you look at a Google ads campaign or a Facebook ads campaign for $1 million e-commerce store versus $100,000 e-commerce store, the actual structure of the ads, there's nothing different. The structure is exactly the same. Okay, the $1 million store is probably testing, larger audiences. They'll probably have a few more creatives that they're testing because they have more budget. The structures are essentially the same. So the levers that you pull, you want to make sure that you're tracking it's making money, or you're at a level that you're happy with, your costs really well. You can improve your ads and your conversion rate. I think those three things are the ways to just grow the e-commerce store from those 2 points.
Yeah, cool. So when you say the ad structure is the same, what does that kind of look like? Are we talking about X amount, like a percentage of money goes into like discovery and new targeting, and then a percentage goes into retargeting, and then there's certain campaigns within each of those? Is that what you mean, like the similar structure? And if so, what portion goes to which, generally, I guess?
Yeah, generally speaking, in terms of your structure with your ads, whether it's Google or Facebook, I find that the best run campaigns, or the one campaigns that are doing well at any level, they're not overly complicated. So if you're finding that you're ending up with a ton of campaigns, a ton of ad sets and stuff like that, some of the best campaigns are very simple. It could even just be one ad creative that is bringing in 80% of your sales through Facebook. So that's why a lot of people especially in Facebook, they talk about testing different creatives, because you don't know, you can never assume which ad is going to do well. There could be an ad that you don't even think twice about. You sort of discredit as like, this ad, why am I even putting this up? And that becomes your best ad. And that could just be running on its own for like 6 months and just bringing in, 50, 80% of your sales. So that's why a lot of people talk about putting in lots of different creative, being open-minded with the ads that you can use for your brand. And then once you find a winning ad, or it might be one ad, just letting that roll. Of course, you can scale up with budget, or you can use that same ad across different audiences, especially in Facebook. So the campaign structures and stuff are nothing complicated. They're very simple. You have a campaign, you test a few different audiences, and you're testing a lot of different ad creatives. If you find an ad creative isn't working, just turn it off, kill it, and then just keep iterating until you find that ad that does really well.